This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
The following program is rated MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Well, is that not the truth or what? It does not matter who the host is. Today is Friday, May the 7th of 2021, day 127th of the year, and only 238 days left to go. Hopefully everything's off to a grand start wherever the hell you're located, and everything is fine as we are getting into Friday for the most part, depending on where you're located, of course. We are broadcasting live from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse of Safety FM. When I say that there's a lot that's referenced there, it is the radio station, it is the podcast, it is the streaming service, and of course, all of the social media websites that you want, and then some. So there you go. That's what's going on. And then, of course, we're hanging out at that other radio station that sounds something like this.
We are radio. We are sarcasm. We are both combined. Radio Big.
So there you go. We're also hanging out with our sister station, RadioBig.fm. So as we get into the move and the groove this morning, you know, the show always works out in this fashion. We talk about the things that are going on. We talk about some different segments and all that kind of fun stuff. We do cover some things related to safety, some things related to news, but always, you know, we kind of go wherever the hell you want to go. That's really what it's about. So if you want to text in or jump into the chat boxes, you're more than welcome on doing that. If you want to text, it's 866-930-SFM1. That's 866-930-SFM1 to get into the mixture here of what the hell we have going on. You know, I always look at Fridays and I always go, what happens on Fridays? Because it becomes more and more interesting as we get out through our work week. So maybe we'll talk a little bit more about that here in the next few. But anyways, let me tell you what's trending, because that's going to be important if you're into the video on demand services. And of course, you did not forget that it's Mother's Day this weekend, hopefully. If not, you're going to need to run out and take care of that real quick. So let's talk about some of the stuff that's going on. So new to Amazon Prime, because this is what the video on demand services are going to have this week, is Breach, Hotel Artemis, Robot, and Frank. Oh, that gets interesting when we kind of get a little bit further. I'll explain here in a moment. New to Disney Plus is Flicka 2. New to HBO Max is Greenland and Axios. New to Hulu is Little Fish, but this one says Robert and Frank's. So is that any different than Robot and Frank? I'm being serious on this, or is this a typo? Who knows? New to Netflix will be Jupiter Legacy, Milestone, Monster, Mine, and Sleepless. So there you go. That's a mixture of things that will be readily available if you're so inclined to do the things there and watching all that kind of fun stuff. So hopefully everything is going good over there on your neck of the woods. Let us get us to our friends at the feature of the story of the news and have them moving and grooving and let them tell us what exactly is going on, and we'll go from there. Here we go.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
Feature story news in London. I'm Ollie Barrett. Authorities in Israel say at least 44 people have been killed and dozens more injured in a stampede at a religious gathering. The crush happened at Mount Meron in the northeast of the country, where the Lag BaOmer celebrations were taking place. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's called it a great tragedy. Noah Spiegel's a correspondent for the Haaretz newspaper.
It's a horrible morning here in Israel. Huge disaster here in the Meron mountain. Thousands of people came back to the mountain to celebrate the holiday, and it just ended up in the middle of the night in a horrible disaster. A huge amount of people who was going down the stairs. The crowd was very, very close to each other, and there was nowhere to go there. They were just falling on each other.
Help from all over the world is arriving in India. On Friday, 400 oxygen cylinder and 1 million COVID-19 testing kits landed in the country. It's a time when the healthcare system is crashing and crematoriums are filling up across the nation. Ishan Garg reports from New Delhi.
Aboard the flight from the US, there are pulse oximeters, oxygen concentrators, and 1 million PPE kits too. The United States says this is one of the many such shipments to arrive here. Ireland too has sent 700 oxygen concentrators. Its neighbour, the United Kingdom, says it's deploying 3 oxygen factories. All this help is necessary as India recorded more than 380,000 cases for 2 days in a row. Municipal officers in Delhi are building makeshift crematoriums as deaths keep mounting due to a severe lack of beds and medical oxygen. Health experts say the situation could get worse in mid-May when India could record more than 800,000 cases in a day. Ishan Garg, New Delhi.
Brazil has passed 400,000 COVID-19 deaths as its vaccination program struggles to accelerate. There's been a slight fall from the highs of deaths and cases, but there were still over 3,000 fatalities recorded in the last 24 hours. South Korean President Moon Jae-in is set to meet with US President Joe Biden at the White House on May the 12th. He'll be the second foreign leader to make such a visit since Mr. Biden took office. Jagruti Dave reports from Washington.
In a statement, Press Secretary Jen Psaki said President Moon's visit will highlight the ironclad alliance between the United States and the Republic of Korea, as well as the broad and deep ties between the governments, people and economies of the two countries. Psaki said President Biden looks forward to working with President Moon to further strengthen their alliance and expand their close cooperation. Japan's Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga was the first foreign leader Joe Biden invited to the White House for a face-to-face meeting. The pandemic has meant that many of the president's meetings with foreign dignitaries have had to be held virtually. I'm Jagruti Dave in Washington.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks, taking a look at the COVID-19 situation in Turkey. The country has just implemented its first full national lockdown amid a sudden spike of COVID-19 infections. Yesterday, the country reported 40,000 new cases in a single day. That was the highest in Europe. Early in the pandemic, Turkey was praised for taking early action to confront the pandemic. Carlotta Gall, Istanbul bureau chief with the New York Times.
We don't really trust the figures in Turkey at all, so we're not even sure really if the first round was as good as they said. But what's clearly happened here is they've tried to keep the economy going, and that has failed. And they've
returned to Myanmar the next day and announced that he would be taking these suggestions and will give them due consideration once things are stabilized in the country. In other words, he used the ASEAN summit not as a means of breaking this impasse, but as a means of deploying a propaganda tool. So we're back to square one. And I'm afraid that what is required is strong action by the UN Security Council. Short of that, the international community imposing targeted, focused sanctions, stopping the revenue flowing into the hands of the junta.
And he's suggesting that outside the UN, willing nations should coalesce around the idea of stepping up and confronting the military head-on. I'm Simon Marks.
And to recap the top stories, the UK Conservative Party, led by Boris Johnson, has won a crucial by-election in the north of England. India's registered another world record spike in daily coronavirus cases. Australian repatriation flights from India will resume on the 15th of May, and the Japanese government is set to extend the COVID-19 state of emergency for Tokyo and 3 other prefectures. That's the latest feature story news. From London, Ollie Barrett reporting.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
So for years, I have been telling you how I sleep so miserably at night, but that has all changed as of recent, and let me tell you why. Let me tell you about my friends at Helix Sleep. Helix Sleep has a sleep quiz that takes just about 2 minutes to complete and matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. Why should you buy a mattress made for someone else? With Helix, you're getting a mattress that you will know will be perfect for the way you sleep. Everybody is unique, and Helix knows that. So they have several different mattress models to choose from. They have a soft, medium, and firm mattress. Mattress is great for cooling you down if you sleep hot. And even at Helix Plus mattresses for plus-size sleepers. I took the Helix quiz, and I was matched with the Helix Midnight Luxe mattress because I wanted something that felt soft. And I sleep on my side. It was such a different approach and exactly on how I was able to sleep. I love it. It's a huge upgrade from what I had before, that's for sure. The kids love it, even though they shouldn't be jumping on my bed, but that's a whole other story. And my wife loves it, which is important. So if you're looking for a mattress, you just take the quiz. You order the mattress, and you're matched to it. And the mattress comes right to your door, shipped for free. You don't even need to go to the mattress store again. Helix is awesome, but you don't need my word for it. Helix was awarded the #1 overall mattress pick of 2020 by GQ and Wired magazine. Just go to helixsleep.com/safety. That's helixsleep.com/safety. There, take the 2-minute sleep quiz, and they'll match you up with a customized mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. They have a 10-year warranty, and you get to try the mattress for 100 nights, risk-free. They'll even pick it up if you don't love it, but you will. Helix is offering up to $200 off of all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/safety. That's helixsleep.com/safety for up to $200 off and 2 free pillows.
You are listening to something magical. You're listening to the Rated R Safety Show.
So there you go. Lots of information going on right there. Anyways, hi, I'm back. Yeah, you're still hanging out here. It is 13 minutes past the top of the hour. Let's start going down the hit list and talking about some of the things that are going on there. Here you go. Here's something that we normally don't talk about, so let's do it. A couple in Arkansas celebrated their 80th wedding anniversary this week. Yuvi Evett, 101, and her husband Leroy Evett, 103, have been married for 8 decades, but their relationship dates back even longer. When asked if their key of lasting marriage is, Leroy said, "I'm the head of the house, and she's the neck. She controls the head." Good point. I guess that will work out in a pleasurable way as you do take a look at and listen and look at that. 80 years. 103 and 101 years old. Holy monkeys, buddy. Congratulations to them on getting it to last that long. Duh. So let's continue talking real quick. A church has risen from the waters of central Mexico Lake after being submerged for decades. I wonder if it's been submerged as long as the marriage lasted. I know. Oh, other story. The Church of Virgen Dolores disappeared back in 1979 when the Purisma Dam was built and buried the colonial community of El Zangarro. There you go. A drought that has been plagued the area in the recent months brought up its historic church back to light. I have to tell you, I would imagine that has to definitely be a sight, as you do see that going forward. Anyways, like I said, if you want to chat away in the box, you're more than welcome in doing that. Text messaging can be received at 866-930-SFM1. That's 866-930-SFM1. Just in case. I don't even know. Are the phone lines open? I don't think they are. You can text, though. You can text for sure. I don't know about the phone line thing. I don't have them open because I have this terrible habit of not opening them when I'm supposed to. It does happen. Okay, let's continue talking right away. So here you go. As of Thursday, over 251.9 million COVID vaccines have been administered nationwide, and over 108.9 million Americans have been fully vaccinated, while more than 149.4 million have received at least one dose. According to the CDC, the total number of cumulative cases in the U.S. is just over 32 million, and we're still roughly at about 576,000 deaths attributed to the virus. But as you know, one life changes everything, so imagine 576,000. Boy, is that a game changer. That is for sure. So there you go. That's some information going on right there. Let's continue talking just a little bit here. Hundreds of birds invaded 2 homes in California. More than 800, yes, 800 birds entered a house in Torrance through a chimney last week and remained inside for several days. Days later, a few hours north of Torrance, another family had a similar situation unfold. This time, however, the birds were kept from entering the home due to the grate in the fireplace. Being unable to fly out on their own, a chute was created to funnel the birds to the fireplace through the home through the back door. A county animal service determined that the birds were swifted away in that particular regard. So here's the thing. I mean, I don't know. Would you? Oh, no. If you turned on the fireplace, wouldn't they get out? No, I'm joking. I shouldn't say that. That's such a terrible thing.
Oops. What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
I was joking. Let's calm it down. I didn't really mean it. Okay, so let's continue talking. A Moderna booster shot could prevent COVID-19 variants, the company announced this week. Moderna CEO Stefan Bancel said that the human trial showed people giving a third shot after getting the 2-dose vaccine had an increased immune response to the virus strains from South Africa and Brazil. The company plans to tweak its vaccine, target mutations as they develop. They also plan to create a flu combo shot. I mean, I keep on hearing about the flu combo. So what are you thinking here when you do hear that? So what do you how do you feel if you had to take a numero tres? Yeah, not take a numero tres, but I guess if you had to take a third shot, would you be up to it? Well, let's start off with, have you taken the first 2 shots? Have you taken 1? Have you taken 2? Have you taken, well, not 3 yet. Have you taken 1? Or have you taken none? I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of variance of communication and information depending on who you speak to. So I don't know. It becomes interesting always as we do go through it. I look at these things and I go, you have to do what is best for you, but you already know that because I talk about it all the time.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, 3 people were wounded in a school shooting in, are you ready for this? Idaho. Out of all places, Idaho. Shots rang in the middle school of Rigby on Thursday morning, according to multiple outlets. 2 students and teachers were injured, but their wounds are not life-threatening. Officials said that the gunman is in custody and the motive is not yet known. So there you go, as we are on another show talking about some more gun violence, and it seems to be just an ongoing term of stuff that we talk about all the time. Anyways, let's continue talking. After 4 unsuccessful SpaceX launches, SpaceX successfully launched and landed its Starship rocket ship this week. The Starship flew about 6 miles into the Gulf of Mexico before it flipped and descended horizontally and then landed vertically on a one-time landing, according to the Associated Press. The mission was a company's fifth high-altitude flight test from Starbase in Texas. Elon Musk, founder of SpaceX, tweeted, "Starship landing nominal." So there you go. The successful launch happened to fall on the 60th anniversary of the American travel to space. Did you know that? Some things to think about. So here you go. I would love to get all the side effects from the flu vaccine and the COVID shot not. Oh, yeah, I don't know about that. So there you go. Some interesting stuff. That's coming from Jim Posel, as he does say that. Anyways, let's get you into the market beat. Let's talk about what the market has to say. And let's bring in Johnny Smalls for him to tell us what's going on.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Friday, May 7th, 2021. Equities traded in a very tight range Thursday as traders braced for a very important NFP report. The report is expected to show a minimum of 1 million new jobs, which is both good and bad for the market. In the bull case, a high number of jobs is indicative of a rapidly improving economic situation. In the bear case, a high number of new jobs will put additional upward pressure on inflation and raise fears of higher interest rates. Based on the number of S&P 500 companies talking about price increases, it looks like inflation is already here. Next week could bring more volatility to the market. The earnings season is quieting down, and there aren't many economic releases, but the ones we have will be closely watched. Topping the list are the CPI and PPI numbers for April, numbers that could either soothe or spook the market. You can get the inside track from Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com.
So there you go. That was John Smalls coming out of our afternoon show on RadioBig.fm. So let's talk what we had seen on the other side here. Wall Street enjoyed an upward momentum on Thursday as the Dow gained 318 points and the NASDAQ added about 50 points and the S&P closed at about 34 points higher. April's narrowly missed the record for stock buyback by companies as $209 billion, yes, with a B, dollars worth of stock was repurchased. Large amounts of buyback typically indicate that the market will move even higher. So there you go. What are you thinking here? So I know that John was talking about new job claims and all that kind of fun stuff. So let me jump into that and then we can get into some other information. The number of Americans seeking unemployment benefits dropped last week to the lowest level since the start of the pandemic. Initial jobless claims plummeted to 498,000, down from almost 100,000 from the week before, according to the data of the Labor Department. Economists predicted that the week would be about 527,000 claims. And keep in mind that these are always new claims, not ongoing claims. The overall number of people, the overall number of people taking some of the government assistance remains high, though, with over just, we're ready for this, 16.1 million Americans. So there you go. That's what's going on. Now, I will tell you the reason that I wanted to bring this up and tie it back into what John was talking about is because now we're starting to see in certain states, of course, Florida being one of them, where the government is already talking about putting back the original mandates that were in place for applying for unemployment. So certain states, depending on how the state is laid out, they will have a certain amount of jobs that you must apply for within a certain time frame, and you must show verified proof that you have applied and so on. The glorious state of Florida, as the example as we're talking about here, has 5 a week that someone must actually show that they have applied for. Also, with that ongoing, this will actually go into place, I believe, if I remember what the governor said for this state, would go in effect at the end of the month. So starting the end of the month, this would be that they would stop doing it. Now, keep in mind that Florida's unemployment payout is one of the lowest inside of the country. I believe it's close to $275, where somewhere where like Massachusetts is somewhere in the $1,200 range at the lowest point. So some interesting stuff as you take a look. As a matter of fact, I shouldn't say low. These are the high numbers, not low numbers. So 275, so one of the lowest inside of the country, but Massachusetts has $1,200 at the low point of what they are, or at the high point of what they actually pay out. So it makes it pretty interesting going through that sequence of events. So it's interesting to see how the stock market is playing into the factor, how the jobless claims is playing into a factor. What are you seeing on your end? Because that always becomes the important part of the conversation. I would like to know how that's going to move forward. Because here's the thing. There is, of course, the level of scarcity of people not doing what's, technically right to do. And that's kind of that's a known factor where people will go about and do the right thing. And some people will, some people won't, and so on. But those things do happen. So we have to start taking a look at a lot of this stuff as we move forward. And so do you think that the time is already up where this should actually be removed? Now, of course, this is an opinion question. Or do you think that it should still continue to go on the way that it is currently set up, where there is federal assistance and there is state assistance? So that's my question to you here today. Anyway, some things to think about as we are talking a little bit about everything this morning.
Listen to our host of the Rated R Safety Show self-implode on our airwaves, only on Safety FM.
Two Americans were convicted this week of killing an Italian police officer back in 2019. A jury in Rome found Finnegan Lee Elder, 21, and Gabriele Natal, 20, guilty of homicide and attempted extortion and other offenses in the stabbing death of Vice Brigadier Mario Cercelli Rega. Elder stabbed Rega 11 times after being botched on a drug sting, and Natal helped hide the murder weapon. Under Italian law, accomplices can be charged with murder. Both men received lifetime sentences. That was making part of the news sequences yesterday as things were going around and about and so on. So there's definitely some things to think about as we are talking here. I don't know. I get all hung up with a lot of the stuff that we talk about. So who knows, man? Who knows?
Some say I'm a street fighter, a renegade, a courtroom brawler. I'm a trial lawyer and I have a mission: to right wrongs, to level the playing field, to protect victims by doing what I do best: win in court. That's the DNA of Figer Law. Figer Law. I was born for this.
There you go, Jeffrey Figer Law. Anytime that you have any kind of court stuff going on, it's probably a good guy to hit up, just giving you some information there. So, by the way, I thought it was kind of interesting yesterday. We did play a government, well, let me rephrase this. A candidate for governor thing with Caitlyn Jenner. Now, I had some people reach out to me yesterday and ask the question, was I supporting? No, I was just sharing information. So then the question, of course, came about, would I actually be showing any of the other people that are running for governor of California? And I don't know. If I find them interesting, sure, I would sure as hell run them. Matter of fact, I have no problem running them, but it's just something that we have to think about as we are doing them. I just look at it and I thought it would be something interesting to share because it showed portions of previous life under Bruce Jenner and current life under Caitlyn Jenner. So I thought it would be kind of an interesting twist of things to be able to go about and take a look at. So anyways, there you go. That's that information on that. Don't want to bore you too much on the reasoning behind that. But let's get into some other stuff real quick before we get too far away.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
So I have to tell you, after my many, many years of working inside of the world of transportation, it has always been interesting to me. I actually got to work and interact and reported to at one period of time to a gentleman who always had a day of the week that we referred to as FOF. Because he was under the portion and of the belief that Fridays was one of the days that people slacked off the most. So here's my question to you. As we know that most people, is the way, depending on how they take a look at work, Monday is the worst day of the week, according to them, because it has to be returned. You have to return to work. I have a case of the Mondays because it's Monday, all that kind of fun stuff. You hear that about 1,000 times, depending on where your work environment is. So here's my question. As we go through this, do you look at a certain day of the week where you feel or you see that the less amount or the least amount of work is actually being done? Is there a certain day? I ask this question because I think it's important. I think it's important to start talking about this. I think it's important that we go through this Because here's the gig. If there is a day that is less impactful than the other days, what do you think about that? Do you think that maybe we should look at our work schedules and change on how some of those things are done? Should we look at some of our work schedules and say, okay, maybe we look at a 4-day work week? Hey, I'm not trying to rock the boat here. I'm just trying to mention this real quick. I'm just asking the question. So it becomes very interesting on how a lot of this works, because some people get gung-ho about it. Some people get upset that things like this are mentioned. I am just asking the question. You have to do whatever you think that's best. Because here's the thing. If you believe that there is a certain day of the week that more people are slacking, well, there's probably needs to be a different conversation or a revamp of that. Now, let's be realistic as well. As much as I would love to say that people work all the time, they don't. Present company included, so let's make sure that we're clear. The interesting part is that I have always looked around and tried to see what day most people are productive, and it really just kind of varies on what they do for a living. So that's where it becomes Friday. Now, of course, with people calling Thursday Friday Junior, which I don't even know how that happened, and, Friday becomes Fry, yay, or however the hell people say it. It's interesting on how that works. Now, the fun part here is that I normally look at things task-based. So I look at work as not so many how many hours I've put in, it's how many tasks I have accomplished based on what's going on. How do you look at that particular work environment, and what are you making of work as of late? I think that that's always important as we are talking about this, opposed to it just being one of those things where we kind of go, who knows? Maybe it's one of those conversations that we take slightly deeper. The problem that becomes about this is that we start taking a look at certain days and go, oh, these are okay to be acceptable to be slacking. The funny part is that as I think about this and go through this whole format of talking about it, it becomes one of those weird things that a day of the week that you have renamed becomes an interesting portion. Here's the thing. The guy that I spoke about earlier at the beginning of talking about this referred to Fridays as FOF. The Friday stood for Fuck Off Friday, because he felt that nobody did work anyways, or they were trying to hide depending on what portion of the organization that they were in. It was interesting to see it that way, because this gentleman had been with that organization for a little over 20 years. And the thing that I always found interesting is that he went around and he said that, but it was very difficult to find him on a Friday. Interesting on how that works. Anyways, just sharing with you some information there for sure. Things to think about. How would you revamp your work is probably one of the most important aspects to think about. How you look at work will always depend on how your mood goes when you're interacting with things about work. But what do I know? I'm just the guy behind a microphone.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. Look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Hamilton the Pug, Instagram star and shelter pet. Amazing adoption stories start in shelters. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, and excuse me. Sit up straight, hold doors open, don't speak with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table. Share your things, play nice, and generally treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
And stop picking your nose.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes.
But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit tunein2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer, poet, photographer.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Support for Safety FM is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming champions of the world. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with the exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code SAFETY at manscaped.com. Imagine shaving with a sleek, well-designed, and optimized trimmer that makes shaving time your favorite time in the bathroom. I'm one of the first people to try the new 4.0, and I'm blown away by the performance. The craftsmanship and the detail on the 4.0 are next level. You know, more times of actually handling blades and becoming a bloody mess, if you know what I'm saying there. Manscaped engineered the ultimate growing and body trimmer by focusing on intelligent functionality and incredible, comfortable grooming experience. The 4th-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. This upgraded trimmer includes a multifunction on-off switch that can engage a travel lock. It also gives the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for some precise shave. The Lawnmower 4.0 even allows you to customize your trim throughout additional guards, lengths with sizes 1 through 4. Did I mention that it's wireless charging? Yeah, not a joke here. The new wireless charging system uses electromagnetic induction, which can help battery length last longer. Men, if you've been shaving with the same nut trimmer on your face, you've been doing it wrong. No person wants to end up with pubes in their mouth. It's time to get your own ball hair and body trimmer with Manscaped to make me time the best time and enhance your confidence with some nice, smooth boys. Get 20% off and free shipping with code SAFETY at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. Get 20% off and free shipping with code SAFETY at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code SAFETY. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Oh, there you go. That's Beyond Elsome. This is by Well Mess. Yes, not Wellness, but Well Mess. This song's readily available on Spotify and iTunes. I always seem to go longer on some of the stuff that I like here. Okay, so there you go. We are 39 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out doing the things that we do here. That's for sure. Anyway, so let's start talking about some other sides of the news and all that kind of fun stuff. A couple things real quick. Should I mention this? Yeah, but let's do it anyways. Is this swamp? I mean, I don't know. Is it swamp? I guess it could be swamp. It's swampish. Let's say swampish. Piers Morgan is criticizing Meghan Markle again. He took aim at the Duchess of Sussex upcoming children's book, which has been inspired by the relationship between Meghan and her husband, Prince Harry, and their son, Archie. In a newspaper column, Morgan wrote that the book is another act of gargantuan hypocrisy. From the Duchess, quote, "Lest we forget, Miss Markle has ruthlessly disowned her father, Thomas, and refuses to have anything to do with him despite the fact that they know that they live just 70 miles from each other." According to Morgan, Markle's book is now the current short list for the title of world's most ludicrous, inappropriate book for children. So there you go. That's making the sequences of events as we are talking real quick. Hey, I am just reporting on what's out there. Don't shoot the messenger, baby.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Hey, I'll tell you, when I see Markle, I always think about Rachel. Yeah, Rachel. Yeah, Rachel. Yeah. If you ever watch Suits, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So anyways, let's come to the light side. Yeah, let's talk about this. So Tuesday, May the 4th, yes, was Star Wars Day. And now there are some Lucas geeks that have decided that Wednesday was Revenge of the 5th. Yeah, not a joke there. And yesterday should have been called May the 6th. Yeah, think about that. What could possibly top that is, how about this? Starting sometime next year, some of the first time ever, you'll be able to get your hands on a real retractable working lightsaber. In a teaser link, yeah, not a joke here, Rey from The Last Jedi shows it off. The trailer also promotes Disney's new all-immersive Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel in Florida, which is set to open for two-night stay in 2022. Around the same time, the sabers will become available. Guests will be the first to experience the real-world saber and will be given the opportunity to train in the ancient ways of the lightsaber among the thematic offering. So there you go. Yeah, there you go. So let's see. But it all will cost you an arm or a leg or something along that line, right, Luke? So there you go. Where can I get one? At the Darth Mall. Yeah, I said that out loud.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
So, I mean, it is supposedly an all-immersive experience, and of course, you can go to Disney World. What is it? DisneyWorld.disney.go.com. And look up the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser coming to Walt Disney World Resort. So there you go. I am just wondering, I mean, and I have to be honest here, what is the price point on that bad boy? Hey, I like me some Star Wars as much as the next person, but I can only imagine. Yeah, so there you go. Some stuff going on there. Anyways, let's talk about some of the news of the weird, because it is that time, of course. A farmer in Belgium caused a stir after inadvertently redrawing the country's border with France. A historic enthusiast was walking in the forest and noticed that the stone making the boundary between the two countries had moved 2.29 meters or 7.5 feet. The farmer, apparently annoyed by the stone, his tractors in the path, and had moved them inside the French territory. The news was met with smiles on both sides of the border. The mayor of village was told the news that the crew that he was happy that it was made the town bigger, while he was amused that the mayor's neighboring French village said, "We should be able to avoid a new border war." The stone dates back to 1819 when the border was first marked, and the farmer will be asked to return it to the original location. At least someone is able to cross the border these days. Yeah, there you go. Okay, a 4-year-old cartoon fanatic and from Brooklyn, New York, is a little overboard in buying. We talked about this yesterday, but I had to mention it again. Almost $3,000 worth of SpongeBob SquarePants popsicles on Amazon, and the company isn't offering a refund. Fortunately, an understanding Samaritan set up a GoFundMe over the chilling cost. The truly adorable SpongeBob diehard named Noah managed to purchase $2,618.85 worth of popsicles online and had them sent to his auntie's house. In case you're wondering, there was 51 cases containing 918 popsicles. As of Wednesday, the kind-hearted donor had already contributed $3,675, topping the fundraising goal of more than $1,000. If that kid uses that extra cash to buy more popsicles, you know you're definitely going to have a problem. But here's my question. 51 cases, 5-1, and you have 918 popsicles. What the hell happened to the popsicles? You can't tell me that kid's going to eat all those popsicles, because that's going to be a crap storm coming up that way. Think about it in that fashion.
You are listening to a radio god. What? This has to be an error. That host is not a radio god. Anyways, this is the Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Okay, let's talk about Did You Know? Okay, so this is, should we talk about this? Should we? I don't know. Okay, let's talk about it. You have no doubt heard of the legend that can get a pretty good idea of the size of a man's, manhood by his feet. That's what's being said. While that has been refuted by science, Japanese researchers now say that saying that men with a big nose tend to be well endowed below the belt, according to scientists. Scientists examined the bodies of 126 recently deceased middle-aged men, and compared them to measurements of the noses that they had, other protruding organs to compare them with, and they found that the men with a 2.2-inch snout have larger penises, clocking in at about 5.3 inches long. Corpses with leaks smaller than 1.8 inches packed, smaller, measuring up to 4.1 inches. And in the middle, there was the medium beaked, whose tallywhacker were about 4.5 inches. Reportedly, the average penis size in Japan, there was literally in a fridge, and there was, of course, some shrinkage as we were talking about it.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Okay, hey, I just share the news. I don't make the stuff up, so there you go. Some stuff going on inside of there as we are talking for sure. Let's jump back onto the other side. After we come out of a story like that, where the hell do you go? Who the hell knows? Anyways, let's talk about the lottery real quick. Now, let's talk about the swamp real quick. Let's go into that. Former President Trump backs the removal of Representative Liz Cheney as Republican conference chair and endorses Rep. Elise Stefanik for the job. Liz Cheney is warm on going full, who has no business in the Republican Party leadership, Trump said in a statement. Cheney and Trump have been at odds since January 6th chaos at the Capitol. So there you go. So you are aware, and I guess I should talk about this. The ban from Trump on Facebook is still ongoing. So now they keep on calling it that he has started his own platform. About where he's sending out his own messages. So this is just information purposes, of course. But it's really a website, and it's a web page. So I don't know if I would call it a platform. And believe me, I understand that when you are building a platform, you have some different levels of how you build that sucker out. But with that being said, this is not a platform. This is a website at its finest. It's a website. It's nothing else. And I understand, that you have to... You have to do some testing and all that kind of fun stuff when you're developing new portions of a website that could become a platform. But it is definitely not a platform, but you can definitely take a look at what he has to say coming directly from his desk. And I did say desk, just in case. Anyways, let's continue talking. No winner for Tuesday night's Mega Million drawing. Tonight's drawing will be for $370 million jackpot or a $254.1 million cash payout. No winner for Wednesday night's Powerball drawing. Saturday's drawing will be for $157 million jackpot or $108.2 million cash payout. So you're more than welcome on doing one or the other if you're so inclined to do so. So there you go. Knock yourself out with that fashion. There you go. Okay, so Jeopardy fans will soon know who will be replacing Alex Trebek. Executive producer Michael Richards told the Wall Street Journal that when the season 38 kicks off in the summer, he will fully expect it to do so with the new host. Trebek passed away back in November after a lengthy battle with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. So there you go. There will be some new person taking over if you care to know about that. Also in some other breaking news, is this breaking news? Maybe it's just news, not breaking news. Loki will not be released on Disney Plus on Fridays. They will be moving the new debut of the series to Wednesdays, starting June the 9th, of the 2-day earlier than the initial June 11th date. New episodes will be released weekly on Wednesdays if you were looking forward to that one. So there you go. Some more information on that. So I will tell you this news of sports around here. Let's talk about it. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is returning to the racetrack. A semi-retired driver will take part of the Xfinity Series race in Richmond Speedway on September the 11th, 20 years to the day of the attacks of September the 11th. Back in 2001. His car will pay tribute to those who were lost and the heroes of the day, along with the frontline workers helping with the coronavirus crisis. So good to see that he's making a comeback for a good cause. Anyways, let's talk about some other things. 10 best pizza states in America. So let's talk about this. Are you ready for this? I'm sure there'll be some debate about this one. At number 10, Missouri. At number 9, Ohio. Number 8, Massachusetts. Number 7, Pennsylvania. Number 6, California. At number 5, Michigan. At number 4, Illinois. At number 3, New York. At number 2, Connecticut. And the number 1 place for best pizzas in America is allegedly New Jersey. This is courtesy of Food and Wine. So there you go. If you don't like what I had to say, contact the people at Food and Wine, because I'm just telling you what they had to say. Anyways, it is Friday, so let's talk about it, because it is that time of the week where we need to talk about this. So if you have any pent-up aggression or you've been frustrated throughout the week, let me give you 30 seconds on the clock where you can scream and shout, let it all out, and we're going to get that started in 3, 2, and 1. Maybe. So there you go. That's time. So call it for what it's worth. We'll go from there. So hopefully you're able to get everything out and about and all that kind of fun stuff, because it always is important when we are talking here in regards of what you have going on. And that is for sure. If not, it's, what are we doing around here? So anyways, let me tell you real quick about this one, because if not, I'm going to forget to do so. Have you ever sat back and asked yourself that question, who is in your corner? Well, that's what we're all about on May the 18th at Safety Day 2021, presented by the ACFS. Come to the event on May the 18th at the Rosen Plaza Hotel in Orlando, Florida. There'll be world-renowned speakers speaking about this all-important subject of who is in your corner when it comes to dealing with safety. If you want to learn on how to reduce risk, how to support safety, and be a health champion, this is the event for you. Don't miss out on this event, available by the ACFS. Now, the question that always comes up is, what are these events worth? What is the cost? What is it going to cost me? Well, it's not going to be as much as some of the other events. You will get this great value for $30. Yes, you heard me correctly. $30. That's lunch, that's parking, and that's even CEUs for $30. For more information, go to acfs.org. That's acfs.org. And enjoy Safety Day 2021, an in-person event. So there you go. That's an in-person event taking place here in good old Orlando, Florida. We'll be broadcasting live from there, just FYI, for your information. We'll be hanging out, doing some different things throughout the day with whatever the hell is going on inside of there. Anyways, let's continue talking. Let me tell you about some birthdays that are going on today. Alexander Ludwig turns 29. Russell Dickerson, 34. Robbie Jarvis turns 35. Matt Helder, 35. Shania Marie turns 36. Kevin Owens turns 37. Alex Smith turns 37. And Michael Rosen turns 75. So there you go. That's a children's book, Arthur, just in case you did not know that. Let's go back a few years and talk about some of the things that happened back on this date. So let's do that. MTV becomes the first major network to adopt gender-neutral categories on its TV and movie awards. Emma Watson wins for Best Film Actor, and Millie Bobby Brown wins for Best TV Actor, not to be said as actress. So there you go. That happened back on this date in 2017. Okay, let's talk about the days of the year that you can celebrate if you're so inclined to do so today. National Packaging Design Day, National Paste Up Day, National Barrier Awareness Day, National Roast Leg and Lamb Day, National Military Spouse Appreciation Day, National Provider Appreciation Day, National Space Day, School Lunch Hero Day, International Tuba Day, National Day of Prayer, and National Tourism Day. So there you go. So here we go. As we are going into the weekend, it is becoming Mother's Day. That is rolling out here in the U.S. on Sunday. So just in case, pick up a gift for your mother. If not, here you go. I'm going to do this. So let's pause this for a second. 3, 2, and 1. I'll say this real quick. I'm going to tell you this in 3 seconds or so. Here's a message for your mom. Hi, Mom. My name is Jay Allen. I am here representing the person that is giving you this. And I want to say I'm sorry that I did not buy you a gift. Here is my message to you. You have been a great parent throughout my whole life. I am just a sorry individual for not purchasing you a gift or bringing something to you. I want to give you this audio or a clip or a snippet of this video apologizing through the voice of Jay Allen. Thanks, Mom. You're great. You can use that if you need so. If you didn't pick anything up and you're not going to have time to do so, that's something that you can use. I'm here for you all the time. Anyways, let's continue talking about some other things before I let you go real quick. Let me tell you about my friends at the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Know that you're not alone, whether you have struggled with suicide or depression or have lost someone to either one. Know that you're not alone. Hear about people's personal experiences from people in your local community whose lives have been impacted by suicide and depression. All you have to do is go to afsp.org for more information. That's afsp.org for more information, or call 800-273-8255. That's 800-273-8255, or text the word TALK to 741-741. That's the word TALK to 741-741. There you go. You'll get all the information that you need right there inside of that sequence. Anyways, before I leave you for today, let's give you a couple of different things. If you need a phone starter for today, try this one. What would be the best gag reel of your life? If you need a random joke for today, try this. If at first you don't succeed, try doing it the way Mom told you to do it from the beginning. See what I did there? Okay, if you need something for the water cooler, try this one. 60% of women say that they will kiss a man on the first date if he talks about this. What is it? His mother. You see the sequencing that I'm doing there? There you go. There you go. So a lot of stuff to talk about real quick. So if I could leave you with a final thought, this would be it. A mother is she who can take the place of all others, but whose place no one else can take. That's what you should be thinking about during Mother's Day. Anyways, you've been listening to the Rated R Safety Show exclusively on safetyfm.com and radiobig.fm. Safety FM is the home of real safety talk. If you want to come out and hang out with us, you can come over to Radio Big, and that's what we got going on here over the next couple hours. Anyway, Safety FM is the home of real safety talk, and you are the best part of Safety FM, and that is the listener. Anyways, I know who you are. I hope you enjoy your Mother's Day weekend. You know who I am. Love ya, mean it, and goodbye.
Duh.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.